Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Brown's Rod and Custom. If you're watching this, please hit the subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. It would help us out a lot. Stay tuned. We got a lot more for you in this episode. Thanks for watching. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Friday. Happy day 2 of the NFL draft. I hope everything's working out for all of you. I'm not sure on my end. I'm really not sure. I think we're okay, but I don't know. Cincinnati Bengals, they took the edge from Texas A&M that's got 1.5 sacks last year. I don't know. Apparently he's an athletic freak and he's got all the things, but I don't know. 1.5 sacks, it sounds like something I could probably pull off. So we kind of need somebody with some numbers here. But I'm not the coach, so you know, whatever. Anywho, that's not why you're here. Let me show you what we're into today, guys. Alright, so yesterday you guys saw Big Ron. He's been working on his Lance truck camper support system. Let's put it that. Jack support system or whatever. So we got all this welded up here. We got these bars in and welded in. Now we still got to paint it. We still got some work to do. And then there'll be a plate here and another bar like this across here that bolts on. But he's getting there. He's really kind of dialing this in, so really happy with that. As you guys saw yesterday, we got the driver's side of the engine pretty much stripped down, ready for paint. So that's ready to paint as soon as the paint actually gets here. And yes, I have ordered it. Today I'm going to be working on this here. Trying to get down into the nitty gritty down here. You can see where I already started. Suck all that stuff out and just try to get this cleaned up. There and there. You know, try to get it dialed in, ready for paint. Now, as you guys know, we have several physical fuel lines and coolant lines that needed to be replaced. Okay, one of those was this one. Okay. This line, if you look at it, let's get it to actually focus. There you go, come on. Sometimes this camera's good, sometimes this camera's not good. Anywho, this line here. This line here is actually a number of lines. This is $130, this is $160, and then this little rubber piece here is $50. So I got to looking at it, I said, how bad is mine? And I started looking and it was just some surface stuff. So I took a little floppy paddle to it and the Scotch-Brite pen, some lacquer thinner. And now I think I'm in a place where I can paint this. Went and bought some VHT roll bar and chassis, gloss black. So I think I'm going to paint this gloss black and then clear it to give it some extra protection just because of where it's at. This line mounts, this is our stock fuel rail. It mounts right here, right in the top there. This is the one that boom down and shoots down and across to the what will now be our fuel filter delete. So I'm saving this line, or at least attempting to. I'm also going to attempt to clean this line up best I can. Because I can't find it. No one carries it. Doesn't exist. It's awesome. So I'm going to try to save that one too. And kind of see where we get. Now I know I have to buy this one. It's just shot. This guy's gone. You know. Nothing good there. That's just all bad. So I know I got to do that one, and I know I have to do the rear line here, this guy that mounts on the back of the head. fuel line, mainly because we broke the end off. So that's $160, but I'd rather spend $160 once than you know, 3 and 4 times. So that's where I'm at the moment, boys. I'm gonna set you guys up here in a second. You can watch me paint this line, then we'll clear it, then I'll set it up here. We're gonna start cleaning this, getting this dialed in, and go from there. Now, I've been having an interesting debacle, and you guys will understand this because you understand what we're doing for the most part, I think. So, what to do with this engine, what turbo to run, what injectors, so on and so forth. And there's 80 different ways to go, right? Now, here's the deal. If I go stock injectors, right, I'm really saving a lot of money, like $1,500, enough to buy the turbo, basically. I can put brand new stock fuel injectors in this and the tubes for about $550. And that's awesome. It does need them, you know, but it limits you, right? I mean, if you were to go to a 5 to 15% increase in your fueling on the injectors, go up a tick basically in size, you would dramatically gain in horsepower. You would know it, and when you put the turbo on, you would, instead of sending your home run hitter up there and telling them to hit a double, you'd be hitting a home run, right? So from a power standpoint, but I don't need 1,000,000 horsepower. I really don't. Ron doesn't want that. We do not want the tire shredding, you know, truck that just drives like shit, and you know, and it's basically meant to just go like hell. Not what we're looking for. And so I called Thoroughbred Diesel and was talking to the guy, and he was under the impression that I should, or the opinion that I should go with this one injector he had, which were $2,600. And that would give me the fueling, and then do an Aurora 3000, an ATS Aurora 3000 turbo. And that would put me somewhere around, you know, 450 horsepower. And that's awesome, except for the Aurora turbo is a couple $1,000s. I think you're probably $2,200 out the door with tax, shipping, all the things. Or a fleece cheetah, you know, one of those, same deal. And then you're looking at another 20, I think it's 2,600, something like that, for the injectors. You know, you got $5,000 to gain 100 horse, you know, basically, or whatever it is, 150. And I just don't know that I want to go that route, right? So I know for a fact that I want to put new injectors in. So I think what I'm going to do is do the factory fuel injectors, right, with the injector tubes. And then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do like maybe the Aurora 3000 turbo, or, because that is something that I spec'd back in Taos that I was going to have them put on, and or a fleece cheetah kind of deal. So basically a factory size turbo that mounts up to the factory turbo manifold that has upgraded internal, spools a little quicker, gives you some more horsepower. You know, you put a turbo on. So I think I might do something like that. But I'm really just battling that, you know, in my head. Like, in my head I want to go, you know, I'm like, maybe I should spend the money and buy the injectors and just have just a balls out truck that's fun to drive, that, you know, does all this stuff. But Ron wants OEM plus. So I basically need this truck to kind of run like a new one. As far as power, you know, getting in that 400 horse kind of range, 375, 400 horse. Maybe tick the torque up a little bit. We're at 550, maybe, you know, kind of turn back the clock, I guess, because I know we're down on power. But it will have the supporting mods. It'll have a Banks intercooler kit, Banks Monster Ram intake. It's got an S&B cold air intake. It's got a 4 or 5 inch exhaust with a straight through muffler. You know, it should run pretty good. And a stage 1 transmission with a billet torque converter. All of these things should equate to more power and not overheating and all that, because really what I'm looking to do is have more power to pull hills a little better when we're towing, to tow a little better, and to just be fun to bang around town in, you know, something like he's never gonna floor this truck, but if he did, you know, it's there if he wants it, right? To get out of its own way on the highway kind of thing. And yeah, I don't know. So that's my current debacle, which is another reason I'm trying to save money on not buying every line on the truck if I can. If I can save it, I'm going to try. Mainly because I need that money to go to other things. Or this will be a 7-month project. But anyway, boys. Air compressor, hold on. I had it on when I was cleaning up the line. So anywho, boys, I'll be back. Stay tuned. I'm gonna get in here and start painting this line, get that going, and start making some progress here. So I'll be back with you in a minute. If you guys have an opinion on this, on the motor and the turbo, and you're a diesel guy and you understand 5.9 Cummins and all the things, or you're a shop, hit me up. I'm open to some things. I haven't. Maybe you sell this stuff. Talk to me. Let's talk me into something. See you in a minute, guys. I'll be back. Okay, guys. All right, so let me show you what we got here. This is the coolant line that went around the head here that I was trying to find new. It's the one that goes into here, comes around, and into the trans oil coil. I ran a floppy paddle over it. It cleaned up pretty good, so I pour 15'd it, and now I'm just letting it dry, and then I'm going to spray with the VHT, roll bar and chassis, and then clear. This fuel line, same deal, Scotch brighted it. Went over, there was one area that I was questionable about. I hit it with the little gasket removing disc on a right angle drill, and it cleaned up really good. So I went ahead and wiped it all down with lacquer thinner, let that dry, and then I put a couple coats of VHT roll bar and chassis on it, and then 2 coats of clear, so the duplicate clear. So just so that it had some protection, but I think this line is salvageable. This is going to be a good line for us. And this one is the one that came out of the top of the fuel rail, right about here. Came down, hooked into the fuel filter with a banjo, and then came down, cut across, and went to the CB3. So that's good. We do have the one line, well, 2 lines we have to replace. This is not one of them. It's the one we got rid of. This line here, we broke the end off where it plugs in out on the frame. So this is the one that mounts on the back of the head. Need to replace this line. And this line for sure. I gotta find it, buy it, and get it here. It is just ate up. Sorry you can't see this. Will it focus? Maybe? Yeah. That's annoying. I tried to hold something in front of the camera and it just will not focus. So, there you go, boys. This one will have to be purchased for sure, and the other one. But if you look at this line right here is about $300. It's about, this piece here is $125, $130, something like that. And you got another $50 for the rubber piece, and then this is another $110. So you do the math, it's expensive. This one, I can't even find it. I did go to O'Reilly's this morning and ask if they could get this. They can't even find it. It doesn't exist in their world. I went through their computer and couldn't find it. Same with the fuel lines for the fuel filter. So we're trying to save what we can and go down that road. Big Ron has been working over here. So he's got these on here. Probably shouldn't touch them, huh? He's got these welded up on here, and these tabs here. What are these for?
The airline hose. I got to drill a hole in.
We got to drill a hole in them. That's where the airbags, where you put the air in for the airbags, where the hose mounts. It's going to go right there. And this is for
the extension for the chain.
The extension for the chains. If we had the truck camper on here and wanted to pull a car trailer or a trailer, we can hook onto here. So he's got them on both sides. He's got that all welded up. He's looking good. So this is coming together. So we're getting there, boys. Baby steps. I'm literally sitting here debating whether or not to pull this turbo off. I still don't know if I should pull this turbo off. So it would be much easier to paint, but you know, I don't know that this turbo's ever been off. No. And it kind of shoves you down a world, really. Wouldn't be the end of the world. Even if I put a new gasket on it, probably needs it anyway. I think I'm going to pull that turbo off. So that'll be the next thing here in a minute. I'm going to pull this turbo off, this line. So it'll be these 4 bolts here. This one, this one, this one, this one, this, and this line down here, the oil drain out of the bottom. And then we'll have this turbo off of here. And then that'll free up everything in there so I can clean that up. So, yeah. More fun. So there we are, boys. Just want to give you an update. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, guys. So it's time to remove the turbo. So I'm going to start with the oil line, the oil feed line. And see if I can get this to come off. I broke it free. I won't lie, I really expected oil. Okay, so oil feed line's up. That's nice. So that's part of it. Next, are you gonna choose violence or are you gonna be nice? We shall see. So this turbo's never been off. So that could be a fucking issue. Okay, so we are gonna get smart here. Real quick. PB blaster on this monster. Find some sockets here. Okay boys, so I went ahead and loosened these up a little bit. Find my wrench. These are pretty much loose. If you're going to do this at home, 15 mil wrench. You got 2 bolts here, 2 here. You got your oil line here, which is a 21 millimeter, and you've got your oil dump down here. That's about it. Nothing too crazy. Okay. Yeah, that went the wrong way. Alright. She is coming, she's just a little bit of a challenge, boys. Nut number 3. Be right back, boys. Alright, boys. You filming?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There we go, guys. Stock. Turbo. There we go. It's a little heavy.
Hey guys, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. We're gonna wrap it up here. I want to just kind of overview what we got done today. Hopefully you can see it out here. We'll see if you can still see it. Hold on.
There's your daily Volkswagen Thing content right there. So Big Ron, as you guys saw, got the bullhorn trailer hitch contraption Lance camper jack system thing done. I don't even know what to call this damn thing, but he got this made, so that's great. What we're missing now are the bars that go out and the plates, which he has most of that fabricated already. So tomorrow I'll be painting all this and getting it installed on the back of the frame here, and we'll go ahead and get our airlines hooked up. They go right here for our airbags. They go in that hole there, and on the other side, and then this piece will be done, and then we can move on to the cab, get the rockers patched up, and get that coated and bed lined and all the things. So very exciting stuff. So the other thing that happened is we are officially ready for our Pour 15 high heat engine paint to show up. I'm there. So you guys saw today, I removed the turbo, the stock turbo. Like we talked about earlier, I spoke to Thoroughbred Diesel. I've got some homework to do. I'm at a point where I'm between an Aurora 3000, an ATS Aurora 3000, or a Fleece Cheetah turbo, okay, to replace our factory turbo. So I'm going to figure they're both about the same price, and which isn't a big deal. And so I just got to figure out which one I want, and then get it in the next couple weeks. Get that bolted on here, get it here, and be past that little issue, because really the conversation quickly turned to, once I explained what the truck was doing and the symptoms that it had prior to all of this, loss of power, running a little weird, doing a little this. Basically what they told me was, your turbo's got 230,000 miles on it and it's wore out. And I said, well, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't really have shaft play. And the conversation turned to, yeah, but if you opened it up and looked inside, it's worn out. So need a turbo. So that's actually, not great for the bank account, but amazing for us. So kind of excited about that. So looks like we're definitely doing one of those two turbos. As weird as this sounds, I think they're both pretty similar. The Fleece Cheetah and the ATS 3000, Aurora 3000. I'm basically doing my homework now to see which one, if there's any differences in them really, and what fits our scheme better, what we're looking to do. But they're both quick spooling, factory drop-in turbos that'll bolt right up to that manifold and bing, bang, boom, go. And we won't have any issues, apparently. So that's exciting. But yeah, so that's where we're at. We're trying to figure out what we want to do there and get that all dialed in, which is exciting. Again, this is the stock one here. There's your stock turbo. So it'll be about the same size, but the internals will be bigger. I think it's 63 millimeter. And then on the back half, they do something different to, which is why I'm doing my homework, so I can actually speak intelligently about it. So it flows better on the exhaust side. So we'll figure that out, and we'll get us a new Turbski, and we'll get it in here and get that on. So that'll be really cool and exciting. I literally can't wait. And yeah, so basically where we're at on this engine build right now with what we have and what we have ordered is, in the next couple days, the high heat engine paint should be here. We will paint this block black, gloss black. We're not painting the intake plate. We're not painting the valve cover or any of that, just the actual block. And I'm not painting this bell housing thing, whatever we call it. So we'll get all this painted up, and then we're still waiting on our new fuel rail, Bosch fuel rail. It's brand new old stock that's coming, so we'll be able to bolt that on here, and from there we can hook up this fuel line, which comes off the top of the fuel rail and goes to the fuel filter delete and over to the CP3 fuel pump. So this is the one I restored today. Turned out pretty darn good. Pretty happy with that. We can also hook up our coolant tube on the rear, which goes from here, right there, around the back, and over to the transmission oil cooler. And the transmission oil cooler basically cools the coolant for the torque converter, is basically what happens there. So I repaired that. I didn't repair, I cleaned that pipe up. It was actually better than I thought. The other one that comes off and goes to this port here is really bad, and I need to address that and take care of that. So, but we will be able to start putting things together and start getting this in a direction. So, baby steps, but we're getting there. So yeah, so hopefully tomorrow we can get that trailer hitch deal bolted up and done, and hopefully our paint shows up. I don't know, but we'll see. And we can get this block painted, and hopefully, and then we'll just start in a direction, you know, start putting it back together. Once we get it painted, we can go ahead and install all of this wiring and stuff back where it was. Clean it all up and get it back on here. And we can install our fleece coolant delete, or not coolant delete, the fuel filter delete, and get all that hooked up and so on and so forth. And really start getting this back to where it needs to be. And then we'll be thinking about injectors. That'll probably be first. Probably get injectors and injector tubes. Get that in, get this rear fuel line. That way we can finish up the fuel filter delete. And then we start working on turbo and Banks Monster Ram. Get that in, get that on. And then we'll move forward here to all of the water pump, alternator, belt tensioner, belt, all of that. Get all that in and cleaned up. And then this will pretty much be ready to go in. And while that's all happening, the transmission will be getting done in the background over the next few weeks. And then we'll be able to just slam all this back together, and then it will go really fast. So stay tuned for all of that, guys. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe. We'd love to have you. And we will see you in the morning for another day on Project Save Big Red. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night.